going to go into this folder and I'm going to create a style for the index. So the only thing I'm going to do is the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to make the background color of this header black. So I'm going here and I am going to say header background. So we have background color, and then that's going to be shorthand 3 zeros. So the first thing I want to do, I want to do an include. Okay, so well, first thing I want to do is I want to do an include. So I am going to create an include folder or directory includes. All right, so now I have an includes directory, and inside that includes directory, I am going to create a header and a footer include. So header.inc.php, and then footer.inc.php. So now we have our header and our footer. So all I'm going to do is grab one of these puppies. I'm just going to grab this one, and I'm going to grab it all the way just the header. And actually keep in mind that the container is in a container. I actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this container, this opening container, and I'm going to place it here. And by doing so, it's going to extend the header across the entire width of the screen. So I have it at the beginning of the section and at the end of the section. So let me clean this thing up a little bit. Let's clean this puppy up a little bit. All right. So now, let's take that style, copy it. Let's copy the style here. I like to keep my styles in order, if you will, in order in which they appear as far as elements and stuff are concerned. Just like to do that for some reason. So home, view books, there we go. So now I'm going to use some span tags. Okay, I'm going to put a span around the book tag. So span for that, and then span for that, because span is basically inline. Actually, so I'm going to pop that book in there. And I'm going to pop the manager over in this one. And I'm just going to give it a class, because I could very well use this somewhere else. So I'm going to say class here and class there. So I have a black background. I'm going to have, in fact, white. You know what? I know I'm getting crazy here. This one's going to be white. So I really don't need a span for that. Only need a span for the second one. That's going to be blue. And that blue is going to be this one here. This is on the desktop. Oh, here's it. Okay, so it's going to be 3094 F6. So it's going to be 3094 F6. Don't know if it's a web safe color or not, but it's okay. Oh, what in the world? Okay, so now I'm going to also make the color of the text white. So let's see here. So, and then I also need to display those list items in line and get rid of those bullets. So they appear in the header right. So in the event that I want to place more navigation on this page, I want to target only the navigation within the header right class. So header right nav ULLI. Okay. So obviously we need the list style to be none. We don't need a list style. And we want to also, I guess, we want to display inline. Sometimes I would do inline block, but I'm just going to do inline. Yeah, so that's display inline, and let's see. Oh yeah, the color white should cascade down, but because we're dealing with a link in there, we need to target the link, and we need text decoration to be none, and then we also need that color to be white. So there. So let's see what she looks like. All right, so now we need to float. Actually, since if that's in line, that means that's taking over the whole length. That's taking over the whole length. So let's see. Let's do an inspect. Yeah, there you have it. See, it's the navigation is going all the way across the page. So what I really want to do is I want to display that block, but have it float to the right. That's what I want to do, I think. I mean, it could look good down here on the bottom. I could just space that out. You know, I could. But I think just to, in the name of trying to be efficient and keep real estate kind of tight, I think it's probably better to have it all on the same line, but you know, we can always change it later. So I am going to, as you can see, it's going across the whole page. Header right is all the way across the page. So header left is also across the page. So I'm going to assign a width of 50% to both header right and header left. That's what I'm going to do for now. Header right, header left, with 50%. Nothing should happen just yet because I did not display them block. They're still displayed inline, so we basically going to have two divs. I'm expecting to see two divs on top of one another with just 50% of the width. That's what I'm expecting to see on a refresh. So you can't really see the difference, but if I go here, you see 50 and 50. See? So we got 50 and 50. So now, actually, I don't even need the left one to be 50. I'm gonna say 30 and 70. That looks more, yeah, okay, let's keep it that way. I'm just gonna float display block. Display that block. Still nothing should happen until I float it. Yeah, I'm gonna float that. I'm gonna float them. Yeah, I'm just gonna float. I'm gonna float the right one, the left one to the left, and the right one to the right. So that way, yeah. I mean, because if I do a float left on both of these, it'll probably adjust the way I want to because it's 50. So let's see here. If I do a float left on both of them, I think I want the right one to the right, but let's just see what it looks like. Okay, so what happened? Okay, books index, header left, header right, header left, header right. Okay, we got to do a clear fix there, but also the header has a background, but it collapsed because it doesn't have a height to it. So background color doesn't have a height. So let's do a height. I don't want to do auto. Let's do 75 for now. 75 pixels. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. All right. See, that's what we're looking at here. Why is that there? So we got header left, H1 inside, header right, and then we have container. But why is that over there? That's interesting. That's because H1. You know, let me do a reset. Because I don't know why that height is there. I don't H1. I don't know why. So I'm going to do a reset. I am going to padding, margin, border, all right. Let me see what happens. Okay, now we tighten it up. Okay, So there we go. Okay, contain. There we go. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to text align right the navigation, or actually float the navigation to the right. So if I go here, copy that, and I say float right, I'm expecting the entire navigation to float to the right. That's what okay, there we go. So now I need that line height to be equal. So I'm going to set the line height to obviously this we need to work this off the edge. Both of those we need to get those off the edge. And I don't want to do it with the actual, I don't want to do it with in the class, the left or the right, header left or right class. You see, what I want to do is I want to set the line height. I'm going to set the line height to maybe, since we have 75 here, if I do 30, then that's, if I do 35, that'll leave 20 on top and 20 on the bottom. If I do 45, that'll leave 15 on top, 15 on the bottom. Let's just try 45 just for kicks. Line height of 45. So we need to target just that by itself. Or do we? No, we're gonna do the nav. There we go. Line height 45 pixels. I want to see if there's some changes there. Okay, so the line height, the height of the header div is 75. The height of the nav grid is 45. So if I do a height also of 45, that should center it vertically. Thinking. Let's see. No. Okay. All right. Well, let me get rid of that. Didn't make a difference there. I know I need to get some padding or either margin. So we have an H1. Actually, we have this H1. If I do header left H1, I can give some margin to the left of that. So header left H1, and I'm going to do 20, margin left 20. Pixels. That should push that book manager off the edge 20 pixels. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Push that off 20 pixels. And we need to bring that. I'm going to get some padding. Or either I'm going to, let's see. This needs to be centered. So let us, I am going to make the line height of this 45. Okay, that didn't do anything either. Because typically when the height and the line height matches, okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm bringing this puppy down. And let's see. shit. Okay, I think I know what the thing is. If if it's 75, everything is 75. I need to make the line height and everything equal to 75 because of the height. The only thing I probably need to do is maybe add some padding to the top of 15 or margin. So I'm going to do margin top 15. Margin, I'm going to do padding. I'm going to do, I need to do padding top. Padding top 15 pixels. That should push everything down, I'm thinking. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. So now I need to do my margin right on the right side. So margin right on header right. Header right, margin right. Wait a minute. It is header right nav. Okay. So margin, we already have header right nav, so we don't need to do that again. So we got margin right here. And that's going to be 20 pixels. And let's do a refresh. Bam. Okay. So now I want to add some padding. I want to add some padding to the left and to the right. 10. So going to our link here. So padding, nothing on the top but 10 to the left and the right. Maybe 20. They seem kind of tight. Maybe 20. All right. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. So let's see. It's okay. It's okay. So now what I want to do is, I think I want to make all this lowercase, this BookManager lowercase. I want to make that lowercase. And I want to create a span class and call it highlight. So I'm going to highlight that, and that color is going to be the 3094 F6. So I'm going to go here. Highlight and color 3094 F6. So I'm just going to copy it just to be safe. All right, we can get rid of that. So when we refresh, there we go. Now I need a different font because I need a font where the height is the same, because this doesn't look all that great. I need also probably want a sans serif font. So I'm just going to go to my trusty font, Century Gothic. Okay, I kind of like Century Gothic. I mean, there are other fonts out there, but I want to use a Century Gothic for now. And then if the thinness of it is too bad, then I'll just change it. But I'm gonna change it. So I'm going to make it. I'm going to put that in the body. Okay. put that in the body, and then font family, we have Century Gothic. And a backup font is Arial, but I believe all the computers have Century Gothic. But if they don't, on the off chance, we'll just throw Arial in there and then fall back to sans serif. So let's see how she looks now. I kind of like it anyway, but let's go with this. So we got Book Manager, Home, View Books, View Authors, and then we are going to fix up our footer.